Welcome all. So today's topic is black magic and negative energies in offices, houses and other properties. So today we'll be talking about whether this is true, is it possible, or is it just a myth. So many of you have been writing this question, and many case studies have come regarding offices and properties and even houses, that there is some kind of a negative force that many of you have felt, and you are struggling because of this particular problem in your houses and offices and other land areas. So today we'll be talking about this particular topic in brief, that how this video can be helpful for all the people who are watching this, as to getting alert and making themselves aware as to how to detect this and how to get a filler whether you are under any such paranormal activity or any such negative energy. So let's get started. So yes people, firstly the answer is that in properties, in land, houses, offices these days, in urban areas especially, there are negative energies, there are black magic processes which are being done to spoil your happiness, energy levels, prosperity, peace, and so many other things depending on what the target is. So mostly people think that in urban areas, cities, metropolitan cities, these things are not possible. But let me tell you that we come across cases which are outside India. I mean international cases, overseas clients, which I'm talking about, like United States, Europe and Singapore and other Asian countries, France, so many of even I would say Middle East countries. More than India, we come across cases where these kind of things are happening, and the biggest of cities, the biggest of developed countries, they are facing these kind of problems, and of course even India. But then please don't think that the reason I'm saying this to you is I'm naming this countries are because Indians have this, I don't know, they have this sort of thought process that this is superstition, and this only happens and it's only talked about in India. That's really not true. That's really not the case. You have to understand and you have to believe one fact, that this negative energy is not bounded towards any boundary or any country. It is just there, it's universally there. If good energies are there, positive energies are there, negative forces and negative and evil practices are also there, energies are also there. So they can be anywhere, not just in India or US or just everywhere. Okay. So anyways, so yes, the first thing is that I want you people to be very clear that if you're staying in cities, working in the corporate sector, that does not mean that this cannot happen in your house or in your city or in your offices. Now we have come across so many cases, and we have solved so many cases in which all of a sudden, let's talk about first about the houses. For example, you have shifted to a recent house, maybe to a society, to an apartment, and all of a sudden you start recognizing that your health is started getting spoiled, and you have started getting some health problems, and your medical reports are coming to be absolutely normal. So this is one of the biggest symptoms. After, of course, you go to a doctor, you get yourself checked first, but then if everything is coming to be normal and still you feel when you enter your house or your particular room that there is something wrong, then this is very alarming. This can be one of the symptoms of the negative energy being present. Now negative energy can be in the form of a spirit, and negative energy can be in the form of any other entity as per the black magic processes are concerned. So and not necessarily the spirit has to attack you or the evil entity has to attack you. From a distance, sitting in your room or in your house premises, it can create the most negative impact on your brain, in your body, in your surroundings, in your thought process, everything. It's not necessary that he has to enter your body and only then. That's possession. That is something which is the most dangerous form and the most one of the stages which we call the last stages of the levels of paranormal activities. But we are not going to possession right now. We are only talking about the feeling of something being in your house. For example, and sometimes when it gets to a higher level, this is the starting level. The higher level, you start feeling that there is something in the house, you're not alone. And you start sometimes even hearing some sounds or some sort of a movement you start seeing in the houses. And of course, this is something which is documented in so many series which come on television, and these days, of course, so many haunting episodes and so many paranormal activities are shown throughout the world. So this is something which should not be very new for many of you who are going through Discovery channels and Haunting Australia or so many other series on the television, which is good, because before it was much more difficult to understand and to make people believe that some sort of a paranormal or supernatural activities do exist. But now everything is documented, everything is shown on the televisions, and you have so many articles available on the net. Yes, it is true. Now another thing in the house premises is that the moment you enter your house, you start having fights with your family members. You and your family members start getting, such negative thoughts about each other that sometimes you just want to leave the house and go. And sometimes people do leave the houses and go. The relatives or the son or the daughter or even the husband wife start having fights. So these are few symptoms. So if you're getting these kind of symptoms in your house, and if you're feeling that some entity is there, you can always contact a specialist and get this clarified. Okay. Now your offices. Now many of you have opened new ventures, have started new ventures with their own hard-earned money, and what they realize is that no matter how much hard work they put in, no matter how much strategies they put, the business policies and the best of MBA people who have studied MBA and they have actually started their ventures, nothing is working out. Nothing is working for them, and they realize that in the office sometimes they feel a lot of negative negative aura once they're sitting in their workstations, and they feel that something is really wrong. They want to say something to the client, but ultimately the things what they are coming out from their mouth is extremely different to what they had thought. So this is one of the major complaints that I have heard from so many of you who have come across the office problems when it comes to the negative energy in the offices. And the clients, when they enter your office, they start feeling very uncomfortable, suffocated, and despite of the best of interiors in your offices, the best of staff in your offices, there is something which is really not up to the mark, and it's very difficult to understand for the normal people as to what it is. But definitely they can sense out they are unable to sit and be comfortable out there, and they really don't feel even to have a conversation or a business conversation, or even to sit with you as a client. So this becomes very negative. So then we have definitely done the survey, and we have conducted the investigations, and we have done the case studies, and realized that again it was a case, and these were the cases of negative energy in the office premises. Now another thing is that if you purchase a land, like we call plots in a layman's language, so even there there are so many cases that we have come across in which the evil entities, or even for that matter, there were few other dimension entities which were staying there and which were actually present there, and they never wanted you to be a part of that particular zone. So then they show the kind of their presence, and they just want you to be away from that particular land. So then we have to go through a case study in detail and understand as to why this is happening, what was the background of the spirit or the entity that's creating this problem. So these are the things which happen if naturally something is present. Now another aspect to it is the black magic aspect. Now black magic aspect, of course, is done by a human being. This is something which we have talked about as a paranormal thing, where supernatural things already exist in a place. This is not done by a human. This is just naturally right there, But now let's talk about the second episode where we talk about that if some human has done something or has used a black magic process just to make sure that your house piece and your office and your other properties have a problem. So of course that simply means that if in your house you have your close relatives who are coming in, close friends who are coming in, somebody who is close to you, he or she necessarily not has to come to your house also, or doesn't have to walk into that particular premises. Through the photograph or through your name and so many other things, he or she can simply do a spell on you or a bad black magic evil process on you, or maybe throw something inside your house through which your house premises, offices and any particular area can have a negative energy or can have a spirit or any other evil entity. So yes, it's quite possible, but black magic is done by the human, and of course, like I always say, the hatred is one of the parts, the jealousy is one of the parts. So there is no one particular answer as to why somebody is doing black magic. It is something that the person is unable to fight from in front, and has adopted a very smart aspect of just hiding behind and maybe being the best of your friend or the best of your well-wisher, but just backstabbing you. So that is one of the reasons the people are adopting black magic these days, and they try to be very modern and say that we don't believe in black magic, but trust me that there's so many, mostly people who say we don't believe in black magic, mostly who are cheating on you, who are actually backstabbing you. They use these kind of statements. It does not mean that all the people who say we don't believe in black magic will do black magic. No, but mostly I'm saying the people, the enemies, the culprits which are there are using this kind of language just to make sure that they don't come in your doubt thought process. So yes, people, if you're actually getting these kind of symptoms, even if somebody is doing black magic in your house or offices just to spoil your business or to spoil the peace in your house or to spoil your health, the symptoms are just the same, like I said before about the natural, paranormal or the supernatural entities when they enter these premises or are staying in the premises. Symptoms are just the same. So if you're getting these kind of symptoms, if you're getting these kind of fillers, like I said, you can contact us on the website Mahakali Vedic Healing Shelter. There's an email account which is given there. Write in your problems on the email. That's the best thing to do. Rather than calling on the phone, it's always best to write an email. Why? Because on the phone call, we cannot explain or we cannot answer in detail because there's so many other people who are there on the call wait. So even if you call us up, we simply tell you that get the case study done, which is a paid service, and write your problem in detail, describe your problem in detail on the Gmail account which is given on the website. This is actually we tell on the phone, so I would advise you to actually save your time and our time. It's always better that you write on the email. Okay, and within 24 hours we do get back to you with an answer as to what needs to be done. Of course, the first step is a case study, but if anything else, a formal mail is sent to you that yes, we have received your query and this is the next step that you have to go forward with. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video. Next time we'll come up with another new topic. Till then, goodbye.